1FM 91.3, Good Times, Greatest Hits. Kim Wilde and Kids in America, but au contraire, we've got kids from Australia and New Zealand this morning. Yes. Can I say kids? Not quite kids. Grown-up kids having so much fun in the musical. And Juliet, let's welcome to the studio Casey Donovan, who plays the nanny, and Hayden T, who plays Lance. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Welcome to the bright side. You guys have just brought some sun rays into our life this morning.
Definitely. These two are actually my favorite characters from the musical. Sorry, I know it's called & Juliet, but these two are my favorite. I was really hanging on to what's going on with the two of them? Come on, hurry. Thank you for joining us in the studio today.
Yeah, we've been giving out tickets to & Juliet to our listeners, and we hope that they caught the gala night. It was absolutely stunning. So much glitter, so much fun, the pop music. How can you explain & Juliet in your own words? What's the musical about?
I think the musical & Juliet is about basically what would happen if Juliet didn't end her life when Romeo did, just because he did, if that's where the story starts. And it's a wonderful progressive tale of where she goes off and finds love and discovers herself, and there's a mature love story as well involved. And without giving spoilers, it's about joy, about second chances, and about love.
That's a good way of putting it. Do you agree, Casey?
I very much agree. And it's also about hope. Living in a life without hope is, it's not really a life at all, is it? We need to hope and we need to dream. And I love that love is the thread to this show, and that you can love whoever you want to love, and that is okay. And I feel like & Juliet creates a safe space in a world where you are free to be whoever you want to be. And I love that about this show. It brings a lot of people together, and there is a chance for love. Love is ageless. There is no time limit on love, and I love that there is different kinds of love throughout this show, and it represents people everywhere, no matter your background, no matter your gender, no matter your religion. You can't falter love, and I love that about this show.
You have put that so well. I'll give you claps for that.
Thanks so much.
No, but seriously, I think that's very true. The show is relatable to everyone in the audience on so many levels. I think everyone walked away with a smile. They were all touched. I was touched. So guys, I mean, really, what you do on stage every night, really impactful. Really
thank
impactful.
you so much.
I mean, the audience were on their feet. I think, and that's the case every single night, right? Standing ovations since you began.
Oh, yes, Singapore audiences have been wild in the best possible way. Yeah, it's been amazing. Like dancing, screaming, reacting, laughing. So generous and with us. It's been wonderful.
I gotta say, this is the first musical I've been to where people are dancing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Usually musical, you watch, you're like, oh, that was wonderful. And you go on delegates, you talk about, oh, that was very good. This one, we're like, yeah!
No, this musical literally gave me a high. I was just like, woo, woo, like jumping out of my skin. Like, so many points in the musical. A lot of that has got to do with the music.
Yes.
And Juliet features glittering pop anthems from the legendary Max Martin. We got Roar, Baby One More Time, Larger Than Life, Can't Stop the Feeling. That's a great one.
Yeah.
Can you tell us why these songs are so effective in capturing a mood or moment in the play?
I think because they each tell a story, and we know them when we turn on the radio and we sing along, but when you really break it down and put it in a show like & Juliet and remix it with Shakespeare, one of the most famous plays of all time, and you're literally sitting there and Juliet starts singing Since You've Been Gone in a very pinnacle moment where, she's telling Romeo, like, this is my life now, and since you've been gone, this is what's happened. And until you remove all the, the radio around it and you get to watch the story unfold, it just tells beautiful... What's the adaptations? Is that the word?
Yeah.
I will make up words. I do that a lot. But it's just beautiful storylines, and I think it's a different kind of pop, but pop as we still know it.
Yes.
But that's the amazing thing. I'm looking at the lyrics and I go like, oh my goodness, you're right. The song is saying that. And when you break it up so cleverly, the way that it's done, into like, it's not just, it's kind of like a he says, she says kind of thing. I'm just really like, wow, the mind blown, boom in the audience. I sit down like, stunned in amazement.
One of my favorite moments is when Juliet and the nanny are together and they go, oops, I did it.
Yes!
It's like, Oh my God.
Girl.
Whole nother level to
Yeah.
that song.
Yeah, because you wouldn't expect that song to marry that moment. But, Lance has just rushed off and said a very important thing that, carries the storyline. I don't want to give too much away, but, and then the nurse and Juliet
Yeah.
get to sing Oops, I Did It Again.
Yeah, because you're dealing with your stuff and Juliet's dealing with her
Yeah.
stuff, and the two of you come together and actually we both have got something to talk about
Yeah.
here. It's absolutely hilarious.
Everyone at that moment was chuckling.
Yeah.
Like the audience was just they're laughing. They're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, girl!"
But
Everyone's
that's
just like,
the
"Oh, girl!"
genius in the musical. I can't believe it. I've taken some of these lyrics for granted for so long, and then when you put it together in a play, it's like, oh my God, it makes
Yeah.
so much sense. Do you guys have a favorite scene or song from the musical? Could be yours or another character's.
Yeah, my favourite to do is probably Teenage Dream Break Free with Casey because it's just so much fun and I love her and I love doing this number. My favourite to listen to, which I get to listen to backstage, is Casey sing Effing Perfect. I don't want to swear on radio.
Oh wow! What about you, Casey?
I love it. Changes most nights. I do love That's the Way It Is that Amy gets to sing more, Anne. But also Shape of My Heart, where Hayden and Jesse or May and Frankie all come together and they do this beautiful trio where it's such a magical moment in this show where I think a lot of people, we've noticed people giggle and I think it's such a nervous reaction because they don't know what else to express. So,
Yeah.
things start with a giggle and then you can just feel everyone's heart breaking, a father accepting their child of just being who they are, and it's just such a beautiful moment. And I get to stand backstage just before I go on to sing my song, and Hayden and Yash and Jesse really do bring it to life. So that's a beautiful moment.
Well done, you.
Ayo, there's genuine love between these two.
I
No wonder
know.
I'm so convinced by the on-stage relationship. You all got me. You got me.
Yeah,
got
you
me.
guys, you gotta stay. Don't go.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
well,
thank you.
They need to go and enjoy the romance. Stop it.
we are on Facebook Live this morning. Facebook.com/1FM 91.3. Join us there. See what Casey and Hayden look like in real life. Their glowing faces, their smiling, bright, beautiful eyes. Hopefully they can sing something for us as well. Maybe. Yeah, join us there. Back with more in a bit. Facebook.
Hey, good morning.
Oh gosh, guys, we're having so much fun. Thank you for being here. I'm so
thanks for
excited. Look, I
having
got
us.
goosebumps because I'm just like, you guys are like my new heroes.
Oh,
Just
bless.
watching this play is the best thing I've seen in like a decade. Apart from Mary Poppins, but yeah.
Mary Poppins is great.
That was super No. But you guys took it to another level. Hey, is there something that you're watching secretly that you look forward to secretly every night? You're backstage, like you mentioned earlier, and you're like, no, and the audience doesn't know about it. But there's a moment, and you're like,
With the show. Oh,
I've got one, the 1.6 second costume change.
oh,
Sorry?
yeah.
really?
0.6-second costume change.
Yeah.
That's kind of like a rip-off.
It's full on. Yeah, I just
and
get to
go
watch
out.
it.
Is that the Juliet one where she,
Yeah.
she goes from that dress to that thing? How does that work?
Magic. Theatre
Smoke
magic.
and mirrors.
Yeah, smoke and mirrors. Yeah.
I actually
lot
believe
happening.
you.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the only way to explain it.
Yeah.
Theatre magic.
It was stunning, and the audience just went like, "Whoa!"
It's a moment. It's
You know,
it's-
my
a
thought
great
was, I was like, I want one of those.
Yeah.
Yes, me too.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful, right? The shape, the color. I was like, hey, I want one of those.
Yeah.
Have that in merchandising.
Yeah.
It will be popular.
Actually, it really
Just
would
saying.
be.
In all sizes.
All sizes, yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Do you have a favorite moment, Casey?
I have lots of moments in this show where I love. There's moments where I get to just be in a scene and watch the scene happen. There's moments where I get to sit and be in the scene and do things. But I love Hayden and our scene together. It's just... It's like being shot out of a fire cannon. And that has been said with all of the Lancers and Angeliques around the world. You literally... You start and you end and you're like, did that just happen?
Wow.
And it's literally, it's cardio. It's basically BFT in 3 minutes.
It really is. Yeah.
Because you're singing, dancing, doing a scene, and then, you end on this very, don't ever look back. Every night I'm like, okay, and we're taking a breath and we're holding because we need to sing a really nice end note without going, yeah. I love our scenes.
Did you know, when you got the roles, that it was going to be as, and crazy as how it was for you every single night? Was there any preparation that is going to be that physically, like challenging and like, because you guys were jumping, running on the pitch. I looked there like, hey, this is a workout.
Yeah, it really is. No, I didn't give it any expectation, which is probably a really bad thing. But I love just being thrown into something and, being directed and working in such a safe environment for all. And but I thoroughly enjoyed every night.
I like that you brought this scene up because it shows that you're in it, you're witnessing it, you're a part of it, you're being present. It's like you're really, living that moment, and it shows. It shows in your faces, you guys. I mean, I can see you really like putting your 1,000% into it. You're sweating.
Oh,
I can see you glistening by the
sweating,
end of that scene. Beads of sweat on your forehead, and you're like, and you're still like holding that note. I mean, it was absolutely touching. It's just the way that you pull things, you tease things out slowly. You give it that moment to breathe. You let that moment just kind of like sit with the audience, and then you take it away to another thing. Yeah. Absolutely
Amazing.
magical.
Aw,
Yeah.
really,
Skillful, actually, I want to say. Skillful. So well done.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Hey,
Yeah.
clap, clap, clap. But in what ways do you think you are similar to the characters that you play? In real life, how are you similar with those characters?
Inappropriate.
Watch out, nannies.
Verbal
No,
diarrhea. I don't know. I don't know how to answer that, to be honest. How about you?
Or not at all,
Oh.
maybe.
Yeah.
I think with every, I've started.
You're taking the Kiwi accent.
Yeah. With every, I think most characters, the one thing I love is, you have to leave your character in the room. That's a very important thing. So, when I'm doing my makeup and preparing Angelique, the nurse, you're building your character. And the one thing, I always end up just taking something away with me, though. And I think for Angelique, it's the grounding. It's that, she just has a very grounding, soothing kind of, everything's going to be okay. Yes, life gets crazy, but at the end, everything's going to be okay. So I think that's what I kind of take with me and give her, is that grounding to go, just stand. It's okay to stop and stand still.
Wow.
I think that's
That's the
me.
vibe I get from you
cool.
as well.
No, it's just really nice. And it's that love and just the acceptance and, but also, I hang her up of a night time and I leave the theatre and get back into my skin and I'm like, cool, where are we going?
Where's the party?
Within reason, Always a soda water,
Are there any like pre-show rituals that the cast get up to?
Yeah.
We arrive an hour and 15 minutes before curtain to warm up together, and we do a circle. That's probably the biggest ritual, is the circle. So the idea is we all just circle up. Anyone's welcome, anyone in the entire production, because every corner of this production is amazing. The touring crew, from wigs, wardrobe,
Yeah.
it's a love fest. It really is. Everyone just adores each other, and we all just get to stand around and check in, look around at each other's eyes. Who's feeling maybe a little low energy, give them a little bit more. Who's got lots of energy? I might take a bit of that. And then we just kind of warm up our hands and get the energy going, and then click together, and that just focuses us all, because we're all there for the same reason.
Wow. Could you just recap that for us in just a bit? We're going back live on air.
Sure.
Oh, we'd love to hear more.
That is really beautiful. I think all companies should do that in the morning. Come, circle. Yeah.
Everybody,
Yes.
let's hold hands. Yeah. Sanitizer for you. Hang tight.
We've got the young folks, Peter, Bjorn, and John, and definitely the young folks here in our studio with their energy, their enthusiasm, and just, all right, you guys are beautiful inside out.
Oh, thank you.
I think I'm allowed to say this, okay? I was told this when I was going to watch you guys at opening night, and there are a lot of fans in Singapore who have actually caught & Juliet overseas in Broadway, and here as well, they said, the cast here is better.
We are chatting with Casey Donovan, who plays Angelique the nanny, and Hayden T, who plays Lance, Francois's father, in & Juliet. Now, the musical has received 9 Tony nominations.
Wow.
Already.
Wow. Hey.
It's the best time, honest to goodness, I swear, that you will have in a theatre. It's been receiving a standing ovation for every performance since opening 21st September. Everyone's talking about it, so much buzz on social media. And it basically flips the script on one of Shakespeare's most well-known tragedies or the greatest love story in the world, Romeo and Juliet. Some people call it a jukebox musical because of the songs that are featured as well. So is there ever a time when the line blurs? You know, Lance, we're talking about, because there's this moment where the boy band gets together and you're singing the Backstreet Boys, Shape of My Heart. Is it? No, it's I want it. Everybody, right. And then there's a moment at the end of that performance and you guys are standing there as if you've just performed at a concert. How's that moment for you?
Oh, it's wild. It's absolutely wild. And like when we were, our director, Luke Shepherd, who's just a genius and amazing and understands how to, no, I don't want to say manipulate an audience, but how an audience, what they need. You know, he says, you know, there will be two waves. So you wait for and then for it to settle down, and then the second wave is bigger. And, you know, because we were just coming in as soon as the first wave ended. It's wild. But because we're doing this, we're kind of meta. It's the idea is like a Shakespearean troupe of players kind of stepping into these roles. It kind of gives us a chance to break the fourth wall and acknowledge the audience and be like, oh yeah, we're in on this too. We're self-aware.
That was really cool. I really enjoyed that moment because, you know, the applause, the screaming, the standing at that point was just wild.
I just feel like you girls were about to rush to the front of the stage and like try and grab the boys, you know. Yeah, because it almost felt like a concert at that point.
It did. Yeah. And I think that was the point. I mean, given all the pop anthems that you feature. And you know, you were talking earlier on off air on Facebook about a pre-show ritual that you guys are all in on at the start. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so we arrive at the theatre an hour and 15 minutes before curtain and we have a warm-up together and then we all circle up and anyone, the cast is are there, but anyone in any corner of the production are always welcome to join the circle and we just check in with each other. We're warming up our hands and warming up energy, look in each other's eyes because, you know, if we all have different days and we all bring that into work and if someone's feeling a little maybe needs some energy, then you'll give that person some energy. If someone's got a lot of energy, then they share it around. And then we take all of that energy, pull it in together, take it to every corner of the theatre and then end in a click. And it's amazing that, you know, there's no count, it's different every night, but it's always tight. And it's because we all focus. We're there to do the same thing. It's a common goal, to tell the story and you know, hopefully make a difference to the audience. It's all for you.
You can see that the cast is very banded, very united on stage. There's such an energy that you guys do really give off in the musical. It's absolutely stunning.
And it's very genuine as well. I think that's the thing. You can't mistake it. Yeah, it's really beautiful what you guys did on stage. Please go get your tickets. Just go get your tickets. Yeah.
Is there something funny that goes on behind the scenes every single time?
There's too many funny things that happen. Yeah, every night it's a
Anything
different.
you can share with us?
Choose your own adventure.
What's the craziest thing that's happened?
Hayden and I, can I talk about?
I'm not sure what you're going to say, but yes,
Yes,
of course.
do tell
My
about
life is an open book.
Sorry.
Sharking? That we
Oh, you
did
talk about sharking. Oh, great. Yeah.
So Hayden and I both have a lot of pre-show rituals, and I won't speak on your behalf, Hayden,
please.
but I sometimes get into really not crappy patterns, but I become so hyper fixated on what I need to do. So everything becomes like, I will walk here at this time, I will stand here at this time, and you know, you've formed this really bad OCD habit. So I try and break something every time I go to a different country or state, or you know, try and do something different to get myself out of those patterns. So Hayden and I it's a thing called sharking, which Hayden introduced me to, is about you leave your dressing room and walk straight onto stage into your scene without stopping.
So you have to time
That seems to be...
So you have to time it perfectly.
Right.
And we were in our first preview or second preview, and Hayden and I were having a little chin wag in our dressing room, just a chat. And we kind of both looked up and were like, oh, I think that's our spot. And it was past our spot. So we had to run to stage. Hayden picked up their flowers and we just literally ran on stage.
We made it in time.
It was the best shark of all time.
It was,
And it was
yeah.
the second time we've ever done it. So I don't think we're going to do it again. We both learned our lesson, but that was quite funny.
There are other times that we leave too early and then we end up in the wing just turning around in circles, doing laps until we enter. It's quite the art.
I love that. I love that you're having so much fun off stage as well.
It's important to do that.
Yeah.
And because we do get so in our own heads of, you know, we need to be perfect and we need to do all of these things. But in actual fact, our job is so much fun. We get to tell stories. We get to hopefully change someone's life or give someone a new thought pattern or a conversation. And we're not doing brain surgery. And I think at the end of the day, when you put that down and we sing songs, as my partner says, babe, all you do is sing songs for 2.5 hours, sing and dance, and you come home. I was like, yeah, babe, it's that easy.
Yeah.
It is
And
more
sometimes it
than
is.
that.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys may not do brain surgery, but there are a lot of minds being blown in the audience every single night. I
I'll give you claps
guarantee
for
it.
that one, sister.
Yeah. But here's the thing, you know, you travel, you know, for your work. You're in this country, you know, for weeks, performing every night, right? How do you stay on your game? You know, it's quite a demanding thing that you do with theater and a musical. And Juliet, we can see from start to finish, really high energy. Yeah. How do you just keep focus or keep yourself, you know, on top of your thing?
It is quite a disciplined art form career. You know, we do have to really focus in. And I'll give you two things that I do. The day off, generally, I have to get 36 hours vocal rest. So that's every week. So like, say, on a normal schedule, Sunday night after the show, maybe have a few drinks. Midnight, stop talking, and then don't talk till midday on Tuesday to then do the Tuesday night show. Just to reset your chords. Another thing is get up in the morning, don't phonate, don't speak for the first 2 hours. I mean, they're two vocal things, but it is quite a disciplined thing.
And
a
it
lot of
makes
people
a
wouldn't
difference.
realise that. Totally, yeah. It means that you can start the week fresh and healthy, and you don't get fatigued. It doesn't compound over time.
I see. Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah,
about
and the one
you?
thing I've noticed, so I get affected by air conditioning, and here in beautiful Singapore,
There's lots of that.
you go from humidity outside, which is beautiful, and then you get inside and it's like everything dries up. So for me, it's no sleeping with an aircon on. It's, you know, making sure that I'm, you know, moist on the vocal cords. I know people probably just cringed then, but you know, it's getting some steam onto my vocal cords. It's staying hydrated, and also just vocal health is very important. I should do 36 hours downtime, but I can't because I love to chat all the time. But you know, it's just being aware of what you're doing, and when you are starting to fatigue with talking, it's just bringing your levels down, and yeah, just being careful because we are elite athletes. We and lots of people are like, oh yeah, it's just musical theatre. It's like, actually no, we have these things that we have to tick off, and you know, I can't eat too close to the show because
Right.
I don't digest, so then I'll be singing, and as you've seen, I'm in corsets and you know, dresses on dresses on dresses. So yeah, there's lots of little tricks and tips that we have to do. So,
They are
yeah.
indeed super athletes, and I would like to see Anne Juliet at the Olympics one day soon.
Musical Theatre Olympics.
Going for gold.
Yes. Jump on the bed, run around. Yes.
Oh my gosh. I mean, hats off to you guys. You've put on a beautiful, amazing show. We can't wait for all our audiences to go catch it. Here in Singapore till October 15th, it's Anne Juliet. Thank you so much for joining us here today, Casey and Hayden. Of course, we're going to keep spreading the word. What words do you have for your fans here in Singapore?
Oh, thank you for just being such a wonderful, generous, joyful audience.
Yeah.
It's
a
the
gift.
best you've seen, right?
Yes, you're a gift. Singapore is a gift.
Yeah, it really is a gift. Yeah, thank you. Make sure you tag us in your social medias and Anne Juliet so we can see, you know, your beautiful faces and yeah, repost. But thank you. It's been really,
awesome.
really lovely.
Okay. You guys, all the best. Tickets from marinabaysands.com, and Juliet runs till 15th October. Check out 1FM socials for a 15% discount. Woo-hoo! All right. Take care, ladies and gents. Bye-bye.
Good times. Greatest